Well, hello, interweb friends. All right, so some breaking news here about the Glock 19 COA. So I guess August 11th kind of started breaking. Different sites were reporting it. Lenny from the Glock store came out, said that his distributors told him that in order to fill military contracts, they were going to discontinue all civilian sales of the Glock 47, 45, 48, 43X, and the Glock 19 COA editions. So if you don't know what the COA editions are or haven't heard of it, it's this guy right here. So it's the Aimpoint COA, and this was specifically designed with an A, they call it the A mount here, where it actually fits into the frame. So I mean, there's no way this sight's going to move. It's not like if the screws came loose here, but you know, on a plate, you know, it could just pop off. Well, this slides into the frame here, as you can see. So really good for EDC, you know, optic here. So this is, this just came out too. So, you know, I mean, here today, gone today. So, you know, too bad. This is a pretty good optic here. You know, they had the ACRO, which is a little bit smaller than this. So it was kind of weird. You know, I really didn't like it too much. But the COA here, it's a little bit taller. So the window that you get on this is a lot better, you know, to see the dot through this window. But yet it still conforms, as you can see, to the width of the rails of this Glock 19. So this is a Glock 19 Gen 5 with the A cut specifically for the COA. And this is something they specifically did, you know, with Glock. Aimpoint did with Glock. It's interesting because you know, there's an article I read that the Air Force has suspended the M18, as a lot of you may already know, based on the shooting, even though that shooting, now someone's been arrested. Apparently it was not SIG's fault. And, you know, so still suspended. There's still some kind of a safety issue with it. Whether or not you believe, you know, SIGs fire by themselves, I don't know. But it's happened. It's happened a number of times. So even if, you know, it's not, something's wrong. Something's causing the gun to fire. Even if it is somebody manipulating a little bit or whatever the case is, it doesn't matter. You know, if I touch the trigger on the Glock here, it's not going to go and fire on me later on. So just because I've manipulated the trigger or whatever. So really interesting that this, I don't know. I mean, it's the rumor mill right now. It's just being reported that this could be replacing the M18, at least for the Air Force, maybe, who knows? Or maybe some other service, or maybe some other military, who knows? But that's what's, I guess that's what distributors are saying, right? So that doesn't really mean much, guys. It's rumor mill still. Yes, distributors said it, but there's no official statement from Aimpoint, from Glock, or anybody else for that matter, Department of Defense. No one's really said anything about this. So whether or not this is going to replace this, I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. You know, I collected this just because this was the last gun that kind of came out when I left the military and retired. But I didn't have a whole lot of time with this. These were just kind of coming in. I was in 5th and 19th Special Forces group at the time as an active duty AGR soldier. So, and I just gotten back from Afghanistan as a senior enlisted advisor for the J2 in SOCOM, and came back and they were just kind of getting these in. So don't really have a whole lot of experience with it other than my civilian experience with shooting this M17. I'm not a huge fan of it just because I don't really like this, you know, how high the slide is up above your, you know, your wrist here. It really jumps pretty good here. Plus, you know, short barrel, you know, I don't know. I like many other guns better than that, but I just collected it anyway. So it would be interesting if this was replacing it. So I guess we'll find out in the coming days, you know, what comes of it. But I did do a search on this gun. You can find these on, like, you know, the auction sites, but pretty much every store out there doesn't have any version of this, of the 19, the, you know, the 40 or 47, the 45, the 48 or the 43X, which I personally would like to pick the 43X. I've got an old version of the 43X that doesn't, you know, doesn't have the rail on it, and it doesn't have an optic spec. So now this being a small optic, it is taller, so you do get more of a sight picture, which is kind of cool for a EDC, really good EDC gun. And I think the 43X would be a really, really good EDC gun with this optic. Though this optic would probably stick out just a little bit there on the Glock 43X. So it's too bad that you really can't get these anymore from the stores, and you're going to pay a higher price, you know, on an auction site for to charge that kind of money. But that's what happens, you know, when you can't get something anymore. And according to Lenny, it's going to be a couple years before, from Glock Store, it's going to be a couple years before you can, you know, start picking these up again brand new from, you know, from a place that's been distributed these. So you probably pick them up used, or pick them up from, you know, people selling auctions or whatever. So if they have any new stock left, but pretty good optic here for this kind of package, for a more, you know, a Glock 19 compact package, or the 45. I don't know about a 47. I think that, I mean, I don't know, the slide's the same width here, so this is what it would look like on a 47 on the top of the slide. But you know, a 47 to me, as I have the 47, and I have a much larger optic on that. So, you know, I think it's personal preference, no question, as everything is. But you know, it's a shame that you wouldn't be able to get these. So if you were interested in getting one of these, you probably should get them now before nobody can get them, and then people start really overcharging online, which I'm starting to see already. And this is just a few days ago they released this. So I actually just did a review on the Smith & Wesson, you know, little pistol there. So the Shield X, and I was going to do this one. So that one will release this weekend for the Shield X, but I was going to do this one the next week. But since there's all this craziness going on right now, and there's this potential that, from the rumor mill anyway, that this could replace one of the military guns, and that could be the Sig M18 or M17, probably an M18, my guess. But I don't know. That's pretty exciting, because for me personally, I was a fan of the Sig 229, but not much else. And the 226 was nice too, but it wasn't really my cup. You know, I kind of like that smaller model of the 229, and really like that gun. I didn't like the trigger on it. It was pretty long pull on that, pretty long reset. But anyway, other than that, you know, I've got a couple Sig guns, but a couple rifles. You know, got a short barrel rifle, MCX. But as far as these go, any of the 320s, any of this stuff, and I know they were really popular because they were in you know, modular. You can change out all this stuff on them, which that's cool, but still not my form factor. I just don't like that. I don't like that, you know, that radius, this high center of gravity with this slide being up so high. And that was kind of always my complaint with the Sigs, that I didn't like that. And I liked the Glocks because it was, you know, this slide's coming right over your hand, so that was kind of nice.
Woo, she's hot. Hot, hot. Man, we got her smoking hot. I'm gonna burn my hand on this thing. Tell you, this little sight's not bad, guys. It definitely does the job. That's for sure. Definitely like this. Definitely a good little optic here for an EDC. You know, very good little optic here. I think that's about all I have, maybe for mags. All right, y'all. Last mag here. Ooh, that's hot. All right, so if you can get a hold of one and you want to have this for an EDC carry with the COA optic, it's a great little optic. You know, with it sitting up taller like it does, you get a good sight window there for your dot. and it just makes a fantastic EDC. You know, 43X or a 19, you know, just really good, you know, EDC, conceal carry, you know, setup here. If you can get it, I would definitely try to get this gun. It's a beast, guys. It's something y'all really like. All right, well, anyway, y'all, hopefully you enjoyed that. And if you can get this, if you want it, good luck to you. I don't think you can get them anymore, really. This setup with a little Timney trigger here, it makes a great EDC. Plus you could throw a small light on here, you know, a little stream light or something. It doesn't go past, you know, the barrel like, you know, a big X300 or something like that. Like I have in my larger guns. So it's a great little package. So, you know, I wanted to get this video out quick in case y'all wanted to go pick this thing up, because it is a pretty good deal. And I hear the Glock Performance trigger, which I haven't tested those yet. I guess I'm going to have to. I was talking to one of the guys at the gun store, local gun store, Superior Firearms, and he was telling me that he had got one with a Timney, and he had, I guess he didn't really like it. It was kind of mushy. And so he got the Glock Performance trigger, and he really likes it. It has a nice wall, you know, when you come back and whatever. But, you know, as far as the Timney triggers go, it does come with 2 springs. So you can get, there's a silver spring and a red spring in that Timney trigger kit, in that Alpha Competition trigger kit. And one is like 3 pounds. And then the red trigger, or I'm sorry, the red spring is, you know, more of a distinct wall and a pull. So still light, it's not quite as lightweight as the silver spring, but it's not a mushy pull through, and the wall is much more defined. So you really feel the wall, you know, when you're pulling back on that. So it's definitely you know, you can feel that wall when you come back to it. So, but still really nice trigger pull. So, you know, if you guys can anyway, and you want this, or you were considering getting one of these with the COA, I don't know if I don't think the Glock store has any more inventories of these. I know a couple days ago they did, but they had them in limited quantities. So I don't know. You can check and see. I don't think they have them though. So if you did want to pick up one of these COA models, you know, you probably ought to do it pretty quick, because you probably won't see them for a couple years at least. And if you do, they may be grossly overpriced. You know, you never know with auction sites. But I don't think any distributors or manufacturer or sites that, you know, sell are going to carry this. So anyway, I thought that it's something y'all might want to know in case you're looking for a great EDC option that's low price, you know, that's reliable, functional, you know. And for me, really, I would just upgrade the trigger in it, put that Glock Performance trigger in it, or the Timney trigger, and I think you'd be fine. So all right, well, guys, also keep in mind, if you do like this content, please like and subscribe. Helps my channel. I'm brand new here, so only been out doing gun content just about a couple months now. So I really do appreciate the support. And for those of you that are already watching and already subscribed, thank you so much. And if you're watching this, like a lot of my viewers have watched and haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. It's free, and it does help me out. Helps me get to those marks that YouTube wants you to make, so so I can do more here. All right, so thanks everyone. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. We'll catch you next time. Thank you.